In the world of yo-yoing, yo-yoers can be very particular on what yo-yo they use. Sometimes they need a really heavy yo-yo, sometimes they need a really light one. It can differ. So today, we're going to be going over 10 different yo-yos that increase in quality, in my opinion. By the way, I know Brandon Vu kind of already did this video, but he was only doing cheap yo-yos and I'm not, so... Alright, so this is yo-yo number 1, and as you can see, it's an emoji. I don't know what he finds so funny, but it's something. So I'm not sure if this yo-yo is trying to be like a normal responsive yo-yo, but it definitely is not, because like it does not sleep at all. Honestly, the only cool thing about it is that it's tin. So, like, it's my only tin yo-yo, but besides that, it's pretty useless. Alright, I'm gonna try to go Godspeed with this thing. Oh, that hurt surprisingly bad. Alright, well, this yo-yo, sucks. So, next. I don't know why I did that. Alright, now this next yo-yo is definitely a step up in quality. So with this one, I can tell that they are trying to be a responsive yo-yo because it does sleep every once in a while, but usually it just snaps right back up to my hand. But shout out to my grandpa for buying this for me because honestly, it is a fun yo-yo to just like pick up and loop for a bit, so it's not that bad. I actually got this yo-yo in a pack of 3 different like little responsive, not too quality yo-yos, but the pack itself was $5, so for its price, this is not a bad yo-yo. Also, it's a lot less awkward to hold this plastic than it was the tin yo-yo. Alright, anyways, next yo-yo. Alright, so this next yo-yo is actually made by a pretty big name brand. It's a Duncan Yoyo. They don't just make beginner yo-yos, they make like pro yo-yos too. Oh, this yo-yo is a significant amount wider than the last 2, which is really nice. And for a $6 responsive yo-yo that I bought at my local toy shop, it is not bad. The coolest thing about it is that it's actually made out of rubber. So you could just like throw this thing against a wall and nothing would happen. Now, of course, I would never do that. It's still completely fine. So my final verdict is there are definitely better options if you're looking for a responsive yo-yo, but it's not the worst. Alright, so here's the next yo-yo, and honestly, this yo-yo is quite good. In fact, I would call it my best responsive yo-yo. I got this yo-yo down in Colombia for 5,000 pesos, which is about $1.50. And for that price, it's actually good. I mean, you can even do the DNA on this thing. Like, look at that. That's crazy. My main 2 problems with it are that there were these 2 halves in this slot and this slot that would light up, but those broke literally 3 minutes after me getting this yo-yo. Also, there are these little cuts in the plastic around the rim that if you catch it the wrong way, oh, yeah, it'll hurt pretty bad. All in all, it's not a bad yo-yo. Alright, so yo-yo number 4 is actually the first unresponsive yo-yo in this list. But that's not the only first that it is. This is also my very first yo-yo. This yo-yo is called the Yo-Yo King Watcher, and for its price, it is not bad. Yes, it is pretty thin. And no, it's not like it's made for competitions or anything. But I honestly think it's alright. Now, the reason that I got this yo-yo is because my friend, the person who introduced me to yo-yo, had the same one, and I thought it was cool, so I wanted one too. So yeah, it's not that bad. Anyways, on to the next yo-yo. Alright, so next yo-yo is the Replay Pro by Gentry Stein. Now, this yo-yo is actually used to win nationals in 2015. And honestly, I would put this yo-yo higher on my list, but there is something wrong with mine. And I know that that's my fault and not the yo-yo's, but like, still. But when this yo-yo was brand new, it was a really good yo-yo, especially for a plastic. So honestly, I would suggest getting one. So here's the next yo-yo. Its name is the Fedin, and it's actually really good. Once again, for its price, it's actually like an insanely good yo-yo. It can do all of those flashy yo-yo competition tricks that you see on the internet, And the coolest part about it is its reverse spinning effect. Oh. That is so cool. Now you may have noticed that this yo-yo is a bit big. Well, that's because it's actually an off-string yo-yo. This is the Yo-Yo Factory Flight because, well, it flies. Now, I'm not very good at foray style, which is off-string, but it is still really fun. And there's a whole separate world of tricks that you can do with it. Now, this yo-yo here, also made by Gentry Stein, is the second yo-yo in this list that has been used to win nationals. And also the only yo-yo in this list that has been used to win worlds. This is the Yo-Yo Factory Shutter, and I believe that it's the most well-sold unresponsive yo-yo of all time. And there's a good reason for that too. This yo-yo can handle just about anything that you throw at it. Whether that's Godspeed, the DNA, or just some random combo. This yo-yo can do it all. Honestly, the only reason that this yo-yo is at number 9 and not number 10 is because it's a little thin. Anyways, let's move on to the final yo-yo. Alright, here's the final yo-yo. The Plastic Cheat Code by Offset Yo-Yo. This thing is absolutely crazy, especially for a plastic yo-yo. In all fairness, I probably would have put the Offset Yo-Yo, Outlier Plus, Deviant Plus, or maybe even the original cheat code in the 10 spot, but the response pad broke on my Deviant Plus and I don't have a backup, and on both my cheat codes and the Outlier, well, they all threaded. But this is not a bad 10 spot. It's actually a really, really, really good yo-yo. And it solved number 9's problem of being too thin. This thing is over 50 millimeters wide. Oh, and it's also extremely good at the internet's favorite trick, the DNA. I actually have an inbuilt swivel in the string on this one, so that the string tension won't change after doing tricks like the DNA, but even without it, it's such a good yo-yo. Anyways, that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Peace out, carnies.